Hi, everyone. Welcome to Language Arts. It's our fifth week together, which is hard to believe. The quarter is flying by. We had an amazing week of writing and reading together last week, and I so enjoyed reading your stories over the weekend. I'm excited to be with you all today, and we're going to go over some goals for this week, a writing tip, and then get some guidance on reflection and encouragement to opt in to our classes this week. So, our agenda goals for the week. We'll take a look at two different weekly agendas, and you're going to be able to copy this presentation and copy paste these agendas if you'd like to. Some writing tips just so that you know where we're going in this creative writing unit, and some goals that we're going to be shooting for, and then time for questions. So, our goals this week, we're going to reflect on the stories that we shared last week. We're going to write another great story this week and turn it in again on Friday. We're going to read a story in Fuel Ed about the Titanic, and we're going to continue reading a great book. So, Language Arts opting in. So thank you for joining me today at 10:30. Mondays are the days that you get to check in with all of your classes. Tomorrow, there are 5 different opportunities for you to opt in. Many of you last week chose to opt into all of the small groups. Some of you were picking and choosing what you attended and what you did not. Just so you know, all the writing workshops are different. They'll be held on Tuesday at 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30. And what we do there is I give a different prompt every time. So some of you walked away with 3 different stories started last week. Others chose to just continue writing a story that you had already started. But that's a fun time. I turn on some music and we write together, and then there's time to share. At 10 and 11 is time for reading support. So at 10, we will read the Titanic together, and we can take a look at how we get into Fuel Ed to find it because it's confusing, and take a look at the activity that goes along with it. And then at 11, I'll be showing you guys some different ways that you can be accessing books, either using the Sora app that I sent out last week, or starting to take advantage of the programs that are being offered at the public libraries and some of our Wesleyan Wilson Bell schools. Just a reminder on there that the story that you write this week will be due again on Friday. You can share that with me anytime during the week. All right, and this is a suggested schedule for how you might spend language arts time every day. So in the red, these are different ways that you're connecting with the class or with me. So on Monday, we're here all together. Tomorrow, we have small groups, again, going from 9:30 till noon. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll be posting open office hours. And then I'm really available for lots of one-on-one writing support. So be emailing me, and so many of you did that. I met one-on-one with at least half of you last week, and that was so fun and meaningful, especially if you're not in my homeroom. If we haven't had a chance to one-on-one, please email me this week and set up a time because I really do want to get to know you. In the blue are reading activities. So I would suggest tomorrow reading the Titanic and completing that activity, unless you're going to wait until Tuesday to read it with me during small group. And then just a reminder every day to be free reading and logging your free reading in the reading log. For writing, take a look tonight at your story number 1 that you submitted. What did I suggest might be some of your goals for writing this week? And then make a note of feedback on the writing tip, and I'll get to that at the end of this lesson. and then begin free writing. So you'll start a new story tonight and be working on that throughout the week, and looking forward to reading more of those on Friday, if not sooner. All right, writing targets. So these are 4 qualities of really great creative writing. Really great creative writing starts with attention grabbing lead sentences. Um, we also want to show our audience what is happening with our characters, and not tell. I wrote that piece of feedback on a lot of your papers. And so we're going to spend time today talking about what show, don't tell means, and one really great way to be showing and not telling. So that's why that's in red. Explosive moments of detail that include sensory, language, sight, smell, taste, sound, and descriptive detail. And then really great writing has a story arc that rises and resolves. So we start the story somewhere, and there's conflict, and there's either conflict with the main character and themselves, conflict with the character and another person, conflict with the character and society, or conflict with the character and nature. But something is wrong. And as the plot rises and develops, it reaches a climax and then it resolves. And a part of that resolution, there's a learning that the character or the audience undergoes, and that's the theme. So, those are just things to have in mind as we're thinking about assessment towards the end of the quarter. I just wanted to let you know where we're kind of going. Showing and not telling. So today and this week, we really want to reflect on and look forward to great dialogue and blocking. Dialogue lets us hear your characters speak, and blocking lets us know what your characters are doing while they're speaking. So this is an example, and I said, don't tell. Let's move away from doing this. Steph was really scared. She called her mom and told her about the box. Her mom said she would come over. They talked for a while and decided to call the police. So, this author is telling that the main character is scared. She's telling us that a call was made to mom. She's telling us that mom said she would come over. And she's telling us that they talked for a while and decided to call the police. We want to show, we want to bring in the characters' voices. We want to know how they're talking. We want to know what they're doing while they're talking. That's what lights up the story for the audience. That's what puts your audience on the edge of their seat. That's what keeps your audience reading. And it's really fun to write this way. So, this is the same scene, but I'm going to show you, or the author is going to show you with dialogue and blocking. Steph searched desperately for her phone. Mom, she burst when her mother answered, groggy with sleep. It was 2 a.m. Mom, this box, it was delivered, and the sender, I can't, honey, breathe, her mother interrupted, wiping the sleep from her eyes. Make yourself some tea. I'll be over in 10 minutes. We can call the police together. The exact same events transpire, but this author is showing us with dialogue. Mom, this box, it was delivered. And the sender, I can't. It's choppy. You can feel her heart is racing. Honey, breathe. We get to hear mom's voice. Mom is calm. Mom is tired. Mom has just woken up. But we also get to know what they're doing. She searched desperately for her phone. She burst when her mother answered, groggy with sleep. It was 2 a.m. Her mother interrupts, wiping the sleep from her eyes. We can picture a scene that's transpiring in two different homes, one with a frantic character that's very scared, whose heart is racing, and one with a sleepy character that is calm and concerned and will be right there. This is the difference between showing and telling. So, tonight, when you go to look back at your story, I want you to practice being your own best critic. While I love to read your writing, what I think is not what's the most important. And we're going to be working on that all year long. You owning your writing and owning your writing process is one of the most valuable things that we can learn to do together this year. So I will always be giving you feedback, letting you know what I'm loving and appreciating about your work and some guidance on what you can work on. And you're going to be learning to be your own best critic as well. So when you look back tonight, I want you to read story number 1 and the feedback from Miss Dobson. And that will just be in little messages on the right-hand column of your story. This way is awesome because it's time-stamped. And make sure that you click to show more because some of my comments are long and the boxes shrink. As you read your writing, pay close attention to dialogue and blocking. Rate your writing and set a goal at the bottom of your story. So you're going to give yourself an assessment for how you wrote last week using dialogue and blocking. A 1 would be there is no dialogue, there is no blocking. It's just not there. You might realize when you read your story that you were telling your audience what was happening. 2, there is dialogue, so there are characters speaking, but there is no dialogue, or no blocking around the dialogue. 3, there is dialogue and blocking regularly in the story, but a 3 might be realizing that there's room for improvement with word choice, with sentence structure, or just adding more oomph to your dialogue and blocking. And a 4 would be there is dialogue and blocking that shows with vivid detail what characters are saying, thinking, feeling, seeing, and doing throughout the story. The example that I showed you would be a 4. Below is an example of what your critique of your writing might look like. Dialogue and blocking, so you're naming the writing skill or tip that you're critiquing yourself on. You're giving yourself a 2, and you're writing, I included some dialogue but did not include blocking. And then you're setting a goal. This week, I will write to show what my characters are doing while they're talking. And then I want you to look forward. So you will not at this time be going back to edit or refine or rework or rewrite what you submitted last week. It's done for now. In a week or 2, you might decide to go back to it and take it through the next round of writing. But right now, you're looking back. You're looking at this specific skill of showing, not telling. You're looking at dialogue and blocking, and then you're going to look forward into a new story this week. As you write this week, focus on writing great dialogue and blocking. As you read this week, notice great dialogue and blocking. And you might also notice when there isn't great dialogue and blocking. I know in the story that we'll read, the Titanic, there's some dialogue that has 0 blocking. And so if you come to that small group on Tuesday, we'll talk about how adding blocking might have helped some of those scenes. All right. I really want you to be enjoying reading and writing this week. And now is the time for questions. Have fun.